Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's story. In a world filled with traps and calculations, can love truly be a guiding light? A talented CEO facing career turmoil finds his heart swayed by an ordinary woman. A fateful meeting seems to bring peace, but a new storm is about to arrive, pushing them toward a tearful separation. CEO Alex has bought a proposal ring, but why is he late? Is the fateful letter left by the other woman the reason Tuna breaks down in tears? And can a happy ending truly be complete when all knots are untied by a tearful proposal? Follow along to find the answer. And if this story touches your heart, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button to help us reach 1,000 followers. The morning light, soft and hesitant, stretched across the wooden floor, illuminating specks of dust dancing in the air. A gentle, rhythmic rocking sound filled the small house, where Tuna sat beside a makeshift bed, her hands lightly smoothing a thin blanket. She was an anchor of calm in the quiet storm of her guest's recovery. Opposite her, Quinn stirred, her leg still tender and bandaged. The mosquito net, now folded away, made the room feel more spacious, more open, as if to welcome new hope. "Are you feeling better, Ms. Quinn?" Tuna's voice was a whisper, a warm breeze in the stillness. "I put the baby to sleep. When I came out, I saw you trying to wash clothes." Quinn's eyes, clouded with a mix of gratitude and discomfort, met hers. "It's okay. I just want to help a little. I feel much better now." But her hands trembled slightly as she spoke. A wave of kindness washed over Tuna. She knelt down, her face etched with a genuine concern that went beyond mere politeness. "You're still tired like this. Please don't work. Let me do it." The exchange was a delicate dance between two souls, one offering solace, the other a fierce pride in her own resilience. Quinn insisted, her voice gaining a fragile strength. "I lie in bed a lot and feel more tired. My legs are much better now. They only hurt a little bit." She was a bird with a clipped wing, longing to take flight. But even as she spoke, the unspoken fear of being a burden lingered in the quiet room. Tuna understood not just the words but the silent plea for independence. It was a subtle, poignant scene, a beginning rooted in compassion and the quiet strength of two women. Meanwhile, in a sterile office, bathed in the cool light of a high-rise window, Alex's world was a storm of a different kind. He held his phone, the familiar device now a vessel for mounting pressure and potential failure. His voice, usually calm and authoritative, was tinged with a subtle desperation as he spoke with his business partner, Ms. Huai. "Actually, my shipment has also encountered such a problem," he said, the words heavy with the weight of a recent storm. The maritime incident wasn't just a business setback, it was a blow to his carefully constructed world, a reminder of the forces he couldn't control. He spoke of turning the ship around, of the immense loss of time and money. His words a tense negotiation against the unforgiving laws of commerce. "I just hope you will try to help me," he pleaded, the polished veneer of the CEO cracking slightly to reveal the raw hope beneath. "Because we still have a long-term business relationship." His pitch was a masterpiece of business acumen and personal appeal, a high-stakes gamble on a fragile connection. When she finally conceded, agreeing to take the damaged goods back for a reduced price, a slow exhalation of relief escaped him. The storm had passed, at least for now. But the brief moment of triumph was followed by a familiar, lingering emptiness. He had conquered the business world, but the personal one remained untouched, a vast and lonely landscape. With his work resolved, his thoughts immediately drifted to the one place he truly wanted to be, by Tuna's side. A different kind of light, the gentle glow of a sun slipping towards the horizon, warmed the small house of Mrs. Tang. Tuna, with the baby sleeping peacefully in her arms, arrived like a familiar spirit of kindness. She had come to visit her acquaintance, a woman whose legs were also weary with age and pain. The air was filled with the sense of a home-cooked meal as Tuna helped prepare the food, her hands moving with a practiced grace that spoke of a deep-seated desire to nurture. She was a haven for those who needed a moment's rest, a quiet force of compassion in a world of turmoil. "Grandma, your leg has gotten much better," Tuna said, her voice a balm of genuine relief. The older woman smiled, a network of wrinkles around her eyes crinkling with warmth. It was a simple, profound connection between two souls who understood the burdens of life. Yet, in the midst of this peace, a silent ache began to grow in Tuna's heart. She had been here for a while, but there was no sign of him. Her mind, a quiet stream of thoughts, drifted towards Alex. Why hadn't he come? Was he busy? Or had he simply forgotten her? The thought was a sharp pang, a subtle bruise on her calm exterior. She remembered the withering flowers he had given her, a small, sad symbol of his prolonged absence. The fading petals were a reflection of her own quiet worry, a fragile beauty losing its life under the weight of silent separation. Alone in the quiet of his room, the city lights below a distant blurry mosaic, Alex finally let his guard down. The day's tensions, the successful negotiation, the reunion with John, faded into the background, leaving only one face in his mind, Tuna. The thought of her brought a warmth that no business deal or old friendship could replicate. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a small velvet box. Inside, a diamond solitaire gleamed under the soft lamplight, a tiny galaxy of promise. This ring wasn't just a purchase. It was a physical manifestation of a love that had grown silently, like a resilient vine in the fertile ground of his heart. He closed his eyes and the room dissolved. He was no longer in his sterile apartment, but on a sun-drenched hill overlooking Tuna's small farm. He saw her, her face turned toward him, a soft question in her eyes. He knelt, the words he had rehearsed 1,000 times spilling out like a river finding its sea. "Tuna, will you agree to be my girlfriend? Let me take care of you and your child. Now, give me a chance." His voice, a whisper in the wind, was filled with a vulnerability he had never shown to anyone. He imagined her tears, not of sorrow, but of pure, unadulterated joy. He pictured slipping the ring onto her finger, and then the delicate chain of a necklace around her neck, a symbol of his unwavering commitment. In this perfect imagined world, she would say yes, and the pain of their separate lives would dissolve into a single, shared path. The dream was so vivid, so real, that a genuine smile touched his lips. He knew what he had to do. He would go to her tomorrow and make this vision a reality. The next morning, driven by a renewed sense of purpose, Alex made his way to Tuna's small home. The sun was still low, casting long shadows across the path, but his heart was light with anticipation. He imagined her surprise, her smile, the relief that would wash over her face when he finally made his intentions clear. But as he approached, a heavy silence hung in the air. The front gate was ajar, the house quiet and still. A knot of unease tightened in his stomach. He called her name, Tuna, to Quinn. But only the echo of his voice answered. He found it moments later, a folded piece of paper weighted down by a small stone on the kitchen table. It was a letter, penned in a delicate, hesitant script. To Quinn had written it. She thanked Tuna for her kindness, explained that she had found a job and had to leave immediately or risk losing the opportunity. "Thank you very much," the note read. "Without your help, I don't know what would have happened to me." Tuna's hands trembled as she read it later that day. Her relief for Tu Quinn mingled with a deep-seated worry. The woman had left despite her injury, a testament to her quiet desperation. It was a mirror of her own past struggles, a poignant reminder of the lonely road many women must walk. As her gaze fell upon the vase of flowers Alex had given her, their petals now brittle and brown, her sadness deepened. The withering blossoms seemed to speak of a different kind of abandonment, a love that had not yet been nurtured, a hope that was slowly fading away. He found her not at the house, but in the field, a small, solitary figure silhouetted against the sinking sun. She was kneeling beside a bed of flowers, the very ones he had given her. Their petals were a brittle, faded brown, a stark contrast to the vibrant life all around. A profound sadness settled over him as he saw her gently touching the withered blooms, a silent expression of her sorrow and his own long absence. This wasn't just a garden. It was a metaphor for their relationship, beautiful in its potential, but neglected and fading under the pressures of life. He walked towards her, the ground crunching softly under his feet. When he was close enough, she looked up, and he saw the glint of tears in her eyes. It was a silent, heartbreaking moment, more powerful than any loud argument. He didn't need words to understand her pain. He knelt down beside her, the small velvet box burning a hole in his pocket. He didn't try to explain his busyness or his meetings. Instead, he spoke from his heart, his voice low and raw with emotion. "Tuna," he began, "I'm so sorry. I know I've been gone, but I came back because I couldn't live without you anymore. The truth is, I've had this ring for a while now, and I've been waiting for the right moment. But there is no right moment. Only this one." His eyes held hers, a silent plea for forgiveness and a promise of a future. Tuna's gaze dropped from his face to the small velvet box he held. The silence stretched between them, thick and heavy with unspoken emotions. It was the longest second of Alex's life. He saw the flicker of doubt, the memory of his absence. But then, a light of understanding dawned in her eyes. Her lips trembled, and a single tear, bright and clear, traced a path down her cheek. It was not a tear of sorrow, but a release of all the anxiety, the hope, and the quiet love she had held in her heart. She reached out, her hand finding his. I agree," she whispered, the words barely audible but echoing in his soul like a symphony. A wave of profound relief washed over Alex, his own eyes welling up. He carefully took her hand, his touch both gentle and firm, and slipped the shining ring onto her finger. It wasn't just a ring, it was a promise, a circle of hope to bind their two separate worlds. Then, with a tenderness that spoke volumes, he fastened the necklace around her neck, a delicate silver chain that rested against her pulse point. It was an embrace, a quiet seal on a new beginning. She looked at him, her smile breaking through the tears, and in that moment the withered flowers faded into the background. Love had not withered. It had simply been waiting for the storm to pass. The true lesson was this: happiness is not a destination, but a choice. A brave, vulnerable choice to trust in a love that has survived the quiet seasons of waiting.
CEO Elliot, một người đàn ông thành đạt nhưng cô đơn đối mặt với sự cố do cơn bão. Giữa bề bộn, anh luôn hướng về Tuna, người phụ nữ đang mang lại bình yên trong cuộc sống của anh. Trong khi Elliot vẫn đang giải quyết công việc và hồi ngộ bạn cũ, Tuna lại chìm trong nỗi nhớ và sự lo lắng. Khi anh vắng mặt, cô nhận ra tình cảm của mình qua nỗi buồn khi những bông hoa anh tặng hiếu úa. Cao trào xảy ra khi Tuna tưởng chừng đã mất hy vọng thì Elliot xuất hiện. Anh cầu hôn cô, dùng chiếc nhẫn và vòng cổ để hóa giải mọi hiểu lầm, mang đến một cái kết hạnh phúc vỡ òa trong nước mắt.